Hello, folks, fellas, fellarinas. I just got a text from Tim Ballard letting me know that they are having a hearing. And in that hearing, they are deciding, well, put it this way, we might not know for another 3 to 7 days after the hearing today, what the verdict will be or the decision, but they're thinking about just dropping everything. And I'm going to tell you why. In spite of all the trolls that come into my comment section on Tim Ballard issues and videos and say that he's guilty, da 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 da, and he's excommunicated, and blah blah. First of all, I don't know if he's excommunicated or not. I don't know his. I'm not keeping up with his status in the church, but that's not anything to do with the Constitution or being against the law or anything like that. That's whatever is going on with him and his ward, his bishop, and his stake president is between he and his wife and the stake, not me. Okay? And people, if that happens to people for many different reasons. But I'm telling you right now, there is no sexual misconduct. There is no, there's nothing. There's no misconduct. There's no spiritual manipulation. There's no, yeah, all that stuff. I can't remember all the stuff. Are my eyes crossing? My eyes look like they're crossing. But yeah. So we're waiting for things might just get dropped because they just keep bringing nothing burgers into the court. There is nothing. Absolutely nothing. Okay? And I told you that from the beginning. If you follow discernment, you will know. Stop putting forcing Tim on a pedestal that he doesn't want to be on. Stop forcing people, well, he's not living to these standards and this standard and that, or he's breaking the word of wisdom. I don't know what he's going through personally, okay? I don't ask him those questions. I don't ask, Tim, are you breaking the word of wisdom? Tim, have you been excommunicated? That has nothing to do with breaking the law. How many sheriffs and policemen and good people in the military are cheating on their wives as we speak right now? How many sheriffs or police officers or detectives that rescue children in your town might be having an affair or had one recently and is talking to the bishop? And I'm not even saying Tim did that. How many have done that in your town? Are they still police officers? Do you still trust them to come and rescue your kids? Yes. Are they still American heroes? Yes. Do they need the atonement like all of us? Yes. Guess what, brothers? Sorry, I don't mean to yell. Guess what, brothers and sisters? We all need the atonement of Jesus Christ. I have mush mouth. We all need the atonement of Jesus Christ. So I've got this interview and I've got 2 interviews, one with Tim's attorney and the Tim Ballard interview that will be coming out. Pray. I'm asking you, I'm charging you, I'm exhorting you to pray for our international hero, and he's more than just a Latter-day Saint. What I mean to the world, being a Latter-day Saint is the end-all be-all, right? But as far as the world is concerned, he's also they don't know Tim, the member of the church, okay? They know Tim, the international hero that rescues kids They know Operation Underground Railroad. They know the Spear Fund. They know they know Sound of Freedom. They know Angel Studios, and they know Tim, the international hero that's been on many different programs and platforms where he has discussed operations. I'm drinking protein. So pray for him. We need thousands of prayers. Do me a favor, put him and his family on the temple prayer rolls of your temple if you can. Have a meeting, have a prayer with your family for the Ballard family, and for Tim, and for the decision to be what it should be. These women are, and their attorneys are coming into court, and they're not saying anything. They're doing the same thing that people do when they call President Trump a racist. Well, can you give me an example? Well, he hates minorities. He hates people of color. Can you give me an example? That's what's going on, okay? They're calling Tim things and accusing him of doing things that he didn't do. And you have to understand, you have to profile these characters, and you will. You will. Because we're going to have some interviews with more in the future with Janet and Tim and others where we're going to talk about everything. But we need a good verdict. Please. I want you to say this in your minds. If Tim Ballard, and say this even in your prayers, Heavenly Father, if he is innocent, and if these women are just doing this because they, I'm going to tell you, this is exactly what it is, which I think, that they decided these women were gathered by an entity bigger than themselves, which Vice News is going underwater. I think they went out of business. You see how God curses those who, and that's not because they went up against Tim more than the things that they did to manipulate the church. Judgment Day, brothers and sisters, is here. And Tim has sent me a few texts, and expressing how hurt he has been about certain people in the church, even, and how, not the church because it's the Lord's organization, but how some people in the organization has biasedly treated him without any evidence. Which is, you'll find out that there are things that are being appealed, put it that way. Anyway, brothers and sisters, keep the faith. But so pray that if Tim is innocent, that if these women were gathered by an entity bigger than themselves, and they saw that, our American hero that we worked with is losing ground and losing popularity, and a big news media has come after them. The church has disowned him, disavowed them. Stop. Who is the church? We are the church. Okay? The church did not disavow them. First, they removed the video of Tim Ballard from the website, the church website, because of a conflict of interest, and that the church basically said, I'm not getting involved in this. And it shouldn't. The church is not going to involve itself in civil matters. And that's all it was doing, is distancing itself, not from Tim, but from controversy. Can I tell you something about myself? I wouldn't be defending this if I didn't feel strongly about it. I personally don't I personally wouldn't go on a couples ruse operation. To me that's just something I personally would not do. Uh, but I understand as far as legalities and cop work. I get the gist of it and understand how complex it was, and it was experimental, and they were trying to do the same thing that it was all about blocking, helping this guy to infiltrate, rescue way more children, and do it in a way to where he's not going to be pressured to do anything with innocent children. You know what I'm saying? Just like a drug cartel is putting down lines of cocaine and saying, handing the guy the straw and saying, do it, or the dollar bill rolled up, do it, do a line right in front of me. Let me know. I'm vetting you. There were so many things explained to me in tactics that we'll get into another time. So pray for Tim if he's innocent. If you don't know whether he's innocent or not, pray that, just say, Heavenly Father, if he is innocent, please let this go. Tim said that the biggest thing that he regrets is pumping up these women individually like you would your teammates, your partner. How many of us and these women have been business owners, they understand. He said he regrets saying, everything's dependent on you. You're going to do this. We got to do this opera. That's why I brought you out here, because you're one of the strong ones. You're one of the, and he thinks a lot of this, it went to their heads. And they didn't want the fantasy. They didn't want the mission with Prince Charming to end. And when it did, they were out of adrenaline, and they needed another adrenaline rush, and they were gathered. Anyway, I love you, brothers and sisters. Pray for things are in the works as we speak. So pray that we get a good verdict, or a good outcome.